Hi everyone, Martin here. So I thought I'd do a video talking about entrepreneurship, and one of the questions that I see coming up over and over is like the traits of what makes an entrepreneur. And sometimes people ask, am I ready to become an entrepreneur? Am I ready to take the plunge? Am I ready to do this? And the answer that often comes back from those who are probably more established entrepreneurs is, well, if you need to ask that question, then no, you're not ready. Now, I see myself as an entrepreneur through and through. I can't imagine me being anything else. Now, no, I'm not an entrepreneur for an entrepreneur's sake. No, I'm a tech entrepreneur. I write code for a living. I work for an e-commerce company. I'm their CTO, but at the same time I'm building my own tech products, and I see that very much as who I am. You take that away from me and there's not really much anything left. The idea of me being an entrepreneur is so true, which then makes me think, why do I see myself like that? And is that a universal thing, or is that just me being one of those entrepreneurial types? I don't see myself as a natural entrepreneur. I don't see myself as a hustler. I'm more ambitious. I have a positive mindset when I think of all of this, and I love the challenge. So I guess there are two types of entrepreneurs. There are those who put lots of energy into what they do. The more salesperson, salesy type, the hustlers, those who can make money from almost anything that's in front of them. Like, that's kind of what we see as entrepreneurs. Films like Wolf on Wall Street, the kind of behavior around that is very entrepreneurial, to break the rules and push forward. But I see myself as someone who likes to build things, likes to create and architect a future that doesn't already exist. And I love the idea that the ideas that I bring forward can be put into practice and can actually be implemented. Now what I've described can also describe a very strong number two person in a company, like a co-founder or an employee, but just who works for the CEO. I actually work really well under those conditions, working with someone else. But when it's all said and done, there is something about me wanting to take that next step, wanting to be the number one, to have my vision. That it's not an ego thing. At least I don't think it is. It could be, but I don't think it is. It's a proof. It's a challenge. It's a personal challenge to show that I can achieve whatever I set out to achieve. I'm doing it for myself. I don't need to be the best in the world at anything. I just need to prove that whatever I set my mind to, whatever I want, I can get. And I can do that through hard work, pragmatism, learning, self-awareness. Maybe those are the traits then that define you as an entrepreneur. But also it's the reward. I'm not doing it because I want to be rich one day. And I think entrepreneurship has this kind of cliche that it's, I'm going to make my first million. So you're an entrepreneur, because nobody pays you a salary that makes you a million, right? That's just not how the math works. But entrepreneurs can do that. And while those kind of things are kind of appealing in some respects, it's not about the money. To be happier, I don't need the money. I love the challenge and the opportunity, and to prove that I could do it because I was given the chance to do it, and I did everything in my power to achieve that. It's a weird thing to try and articulate, and I was explaining it the other day. I see the outlook of my future as like a play on a stage, and I'm the architect, and I can choose which storyline, which ending I want my story to have. And that story is through all parts of life. My career, so my entrepreneurship side, my family life, my friends, my ability to help those around me. I can choose to participate and create this, orchestrate this future, or I can choose to not. And I just think, when you've got the choice, why would you not go for it? Why not? Like, for me, the answer is as true as anything, that if I had the chance, if someone said to me, "Are you up for a challenge? It'll be hard work, but it'll define you, and it'll be everything you ever wanted at the end of it." As in, what I mean by that, as in, what I want is actually the opportunity for the challenge, not necessarily the outcome. I'd say, yeah, I've got nothing better to do, right? So that, for me, is what entrepreneurship is about. It's about doing what's not been done before, breaking the rules in some respects, as in, when people think something can't be done, go do it. Go prove them wrong. Like, there's a lot of pride in that. Sometimes people fall into entrepreneurship because they feel like the underdog, and they want to prove it to someone. That could be a family member. They may want to show their parents, that they've amounted to something. They may have sibling rivalry, or they may have just been peed off by a previous employer, and they just want to stick it to them. Those are really good motivators to do these things. So I wouldn't say I have that per se, but there's an element of it. There's this kind of, I want to show people what I can do. I don't want to say what I can do. I want to show people. I'm very lucky that the chosen technologies, the chosen platform of which I'm doing my entrepreneurship in, which is technology, I love it for its own sake. Whether I'm an entrepreneur or not, I love programming, I love creating things. And I've extended that love to creating businesses, to creating marketing, relationships. Like, I'm going to be a student of this for the rest of my life. That's the plan. So that's kind of my mindset there, is the climb, the journey is what draws me. Not necessarily the outcome, not necessarily the completion. There is no completion line. I just want to love what I do as I do it. Know that what I do has huge impact in the future. Know that there could be this surprise of success, even if it's not real, even if it's mythical. That success isn't overnight, but knowing that there's that could happen. And then every so often stop, look around, and just see how far you've come. I mean, for me, that's kind of so romantic about business, is to be able to do that and grow something. That, for me, is what entrepreneurship is about. It does mean I'd find it very difficult to work long term as an employee without this kind of challenge in the future. I think I'm always projecting 2 to 3 years in the future, where I can see where I am then is going to be vastly different to where I am now, and that excites me. And I know it's hard work, and I know it's all down to me and a challenge, and so that's really, really appealing. So to be an employee and go year after year where things don't drastically change, that would be really hard. I'd have to be given a lot of autonomy or something like that. It sounds like I'm a really difficult employee now. I can only do that because I can afford to do that. I'm at the stage in my life where I've got the choice. If I didn't have the choice, I'd get my head down and I work damn hard, right? But while I've got the choice, I've got to have a huge impact. So that's entrepreneurship for me. That is what it is. I'm doing this whole YouTube thing, trying to share the journey, and that's fun and all of that. And I'd probably say more than I have practitioner experience with, and I'm mindful of that. I do know that. I want to document this journey, and I want to inspire and teach along the way. I want to do things and share the outcome of that, the successes and the failures. Failures are very important. But I would consider myself a bit of an introverted entrepreneur. I'm not someone who does shout too much. I try not to. I probably am a lot more reserved in my energy levels than would be beneficial at being an entrepreneur. You gotta get other people excited, but I can get really, really excited about some things. I just don't do it all the time. So there we go. You know, this is just a thought about entrepreneurship and why I'm an entrepreneur. What I think defines an entrepreneur. There are other traits that I don't have that define entrepreneurs. You know, I'm quite risk adverse, and sometimes that holds you back. That keeps you from making kind of big decisions. But actually, just because someone says you can't do both, you can't tread carefully and reach far at the same time, I say, fuck it, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, nobody sets the rules. I will do things my way, as long as I'm not stuck in my way. I'm prepared to learn, and I can adjust my algorithm as I go. So yes, I'm not like every other entrepreneur, but I can be really passionate, I can be really fired up about things. And you know, I am so thankful I've got this, because I come to work every day I come to work, and I love it. You know, I'm just so thankful for it. So I'm going to make every use of that opportunity, to be given this opportunity and not have to do things I don't want to be doing just to survive, right? I appreciate a lot of people are in that situation, and you know, I would love to be in a position to help guide people out of that, because I think it's such a magical thing to be able to come in Monday morning, come in and feel fired up and just want to really crush it and just be so excited for what you do. I live my holiday. If I retired, right, I'd be doing this in my retirement. So basically, I'm retired, even though I'm, you know, it's not a financial thing, it's a state of mind thing, I think. So I'm really, really lucky, and I'm going to make every use of that. And I think, again, the entrepreneur in me says, you are letting everyone down if you didn't make use of that opportunity. That whatever my talent is, if I didn't make use of it, then I'd be letting everyone down, including myself, including everyone who should have had that opportunity but never did. Right? I've taken that slot, so I better use it, right? So yeah, I just wanted to share that, because I think I've seen, you know, floating around in the online verse that some people are questioning, like, am I ready to take the plunge and be my own boss? Am I an entrepreneur, or am I better as a number two? And I think, you know, I hope this kind of gives a bit of insight as to why I consider myself as a true entrepreneur, and probably always will be now, unless some major life change happens. But this is it for me. And as always, you know, I'm gonna share this through the YouTube. So if you want to join this journey, if you want to add comments or reach out on Twitter and all of that, you know, go ahead, because, you know, there's another side of what I love doing. I love trying to help other people. I'm learning as I go. I'm not saying I'm ready to do that. I'm not saying I can do that, but I will give people the time and the space to listen and try and add value where I can. And I'm learning what techniques work. I'm learning more about how people operate and all of that. If there's an entrepreneur who doesn't know they're an entrepreneur yet out there, and I spot that, I want to unleash them to the world. I really do. I want to give them that gift. The hard part is knowing who's who, really. So that's another side of kind of just an intrinsic value of things that I love doing. But yeah, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm building stuff. I've got so many ideas. I'll tell you one thing. I have never been more fired up about the opportunity and what I can create today than I have in the 24 years that I've been programming. We are really lucky with what we have. I don't want to waste it. So smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, join the journey, join the conversation, and catch you next time.